Hello, hello guys. I get started in just 1 second here. Okay. Hello, hi everybody. It's Bead Table Wednesday, which means I'm here to bring you a free project and brighten up your week, I hope. So if you're new here, I'm Heather Powers from Humblebeads, and I'm a bead maker, jewelry designer, author, illustrator, and hopefully your Wednesday muse. If you're here, say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys. It's the best part of my week is I get to chat with people that I like so much and miss. And so if you're here, say hello. I know my mom's going to be watching today and making the project with me. She's in her snowy little cabin across town, and we're all stuck inside because it's too snowy to do anything. And winter's just starting, and we're all ready for winter to be over. So that's February for you. Which is probably why we all love Valentine's Day so much. It's a little tiny bright spot in the bleakness of winter. I'm used to going on a cruise this time of year, so darn. Hi Debbie and Joe Allen and Kelly and Tony. Nice to have you guys here. Hello, hello. Yeah, oh, there's my mom. Hi Mom. So today's video is going to be short and sweet, just like our project. It's a really simple project, a very beginner knotting kind of project, but just one of those fun ones that you can whip together. Super easy. If you are into seed beads and you have a little collection of super duos, this is going to be a great way to use them up. And here's the project in its full glory, in its little glamour shot here. And so we're just going to be knotting seed beads in between hibiscus flowers, and it's a very easy project, and I'm super excited to share it with you guys. Hello Gina and Julie and Sarah Jo and Cara. Yes, Sarah Jo, I miss cruising very much this time of year and miss seeing all my friends. So we are going to be working with 2-ply waxed linen. And here it is. Oh, this is the 2-ply. This is the 2-ply wax linen, so it's thinner than 4-ply, so make sure you're using 2-ply wax linen. You can use the 4-ply, but you're going to get a lot more wax on these little tiny beads, and it's going to be more of a pain. So I have cut 30 inches of the 2-ply and folded it in half. Oh yes, Barbara, you're frozen in Tulsa. We're frozen in Michigan. It's just that time of year. Okay, so excuse my dirty fingernails. I've been painting beads all morning and tried to scrub them, but to no avail. So you'll just have to live with painted nails, but not painted in a good way. Okay, so let me get my camera to focus here. So I folded my 30 inches of 2-ply wax linen in half, and I'm going to stick the oh sorry, I got distracted. Soul, I love that you're here with us. Hello, hello. That's my sister-in-law from San Antonio. Got me all super excited to see you pop up there. So I have my little loop, and I'm going to stick the loop through the jump ring and pull the other 2 threads through the loop. And this is that lark's head knot. If you're new to bead knotting, that's what it's called. And so I have my little knot here started. Oh yes, well, I'm glad we all have beads and hot chocolate in each other to get us through the winter. Now I'm going to take the 2 ends, and I'm just going to twist them to make the ends a little bit tighter. So you twist it in the direction that the stuff is going, and that will help. Chris, I have my little scrubber from Ranger Ink, and unfortunately I didn't have a chance to scrub underneath my fingernails with I have a little toothbrush, but even that, it's gonna just take a good soak in the shower to get all the paint off, because I was painting up a storm today. Well, hello Nancy, nice to have you here. First time watching. Awesome. Okay, this is going to be super easy. So I have my little mix of beads here, and these are super duos, and they're from the seed bead family, but we're going to steal them because They work great for stringing too, and you can see they have a little hole on each side. And so we're going to take the two little strands here and stick it through each hole. Just like that. And I'm going to be doing this random, so I'm just picking up random colors to start with. And I'm going to put one hole through one side of the string, and then the other hole is just going to be free to roam. He's just going to be hanging out there. And I'm going to repeat on the other side. And now I'm going to stick this last super duo through both of the strands. So I have the two on the sides that have only gone through one strand, and then the top and the bottom have gone through both strands. And now I'm going to pull this down to where my knot is, and I'm going to tie a knot here. And to tie a knot, you're going to just wrap this around your finger. Make sure I'm here on the screen. You're going to wrap this around your finger, pull the loop through, pull that all the way, and you want to make sure that your knot is going to end at your beads. So I'm pushing the knot down as far as I can, and I have a little rogue strand. So making sure I'm pushing down, I'm going to grab that other little strand. And tighten up that knot. Whew. Okay. Okay. Whew. Once you get a knot tied in here, it's very, very difficult to untie a knot. So just go nice and slow, take your time, and pay attention to what you're doing. All right. So this is 2-ply wax linen cord, Kathy, that's what we're using, and anyone else that's just jumping in. So wax linen comes in three different sizes, 2-ply, 4-ply, and 7-ply, and we are using the 2-ply, which is the thinnest one for our project. I have a little spacer here. It's just a 2 little millimeter faceted spacer, and you could use any size. You could use a 2mm, a 3mm, or a 4mm spacer for these. Just make sure your hole is big enough to accommodate both strands. And these are actually little tiny ones from Tierra Cast. I think they might be 2.5mm. So sometimes the wax builds up. Just take it off of with your fingernail before you put it all the way down. Okay, and now I'm going to add a flower, to both sides, both strands, and twist them together, your two cords, and that will help it go through the hole a little easier. And now I'm going to repeat on the other side with the spacer. Nancy, I don't have these spacers. I just got them from a seller on Etsy. You can just look up Tierra Cast spacers. I don't carry the Tierra Cast line, and so those aren't something that I carry. Okay. And again, if you see any wax that's caught on the end, just take it off with your fingernail before you tie your knot. Okay, the knot, I'm simply wrapping it around my finger, pulling the two ends through the loop, and making sure I'm at the end of my beads here so that my knot is going to be nice and tight on my beads. Ooh, and I did it again. Okay, So that is what you're going to do. You're going to repeat this 5 more times with 6 flowers all together. And dun dun dun, here's the magic, it's done. So I just did a random mix. Every time I would do a little sequence, I would make sure not to repeat it for the next one, and that's how I made the random mix. And then for the flowers, when it was time to repeat, I skipped the first bead and then just repeated the pattern so that I had that random look. And this is a great way to use up little orphan beads. These are the 12 millimeter hibiscus flowers, and I have tons of colors on my website, and I will have these new colors, these ones and these ones, on Saturday. So I have a lot of colors. I have a whole rainbow of them on my website right now, along with the wax linen and the super duos. But yeah, 12 millimeter, that's the size that works best. You could use 14 millimeter, but they'll be a little bit bigger. So 12 millimeter is what I have. Now let me show you how to add on the disc bead and the clasp for this project. So this is my little Humblebeads disc bead. It's about 12 to 14 millimeters in size. They vary because they're handmade, and they have a large enough hole to fit through the 2 strands. So I'm going to be putting a spacer on each side. Just like that, and I'm going to pull this down all the way to the bottom. Make sure it's nice and tight against my knot, and I'm going to be tying a knot really tight. Okay, so I have my knot on there nice and tight, and I'm going to grab my clasp. This is just a hook clasp. It's raw brass from Vintage, and I do have these in my website. The flowers are called hibiscus flowers, if that's what you meant, and the little beads with the 2 holes are called super duos. So there was a little bit of space in between the end of my the end of the clasp here, so I've just taken my pliers and tightened that up so that there's no space. If you have little marks, sometimes your pliers might leave a little mark on your clasp. All you need to do is grab your Vintage buffing block and just polish out any little marks that may have happened there. Okay, the round ones, the disc beads, these ones are called branch beads on my website, and they're my disc beads. They're made of polymer clay, and I sell disc beads in a rainbow of colors. And then also, if you placed an order for the Great Bead Extravaganza, you'll be getting little floral ones, a pair in your orders if you placed a $50 order. So here's a great little project to use on those. Okay, now the clasp, I'm going to string it through, and I'm going to tie a knot underneath. So just like I've been tying all those other knots, except I want this one to be very, very tight. So you can see I have that really tight. Now, I would be super nervous leaving it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie several knots underneath here to give it lots of strength and durability. And I'm just wrapping the cord around the knots here and tying another knot. And I'm going to do one more just to be on the safe side. So I'm just wrapping it, I'm holding it on my finger, wrapping it around, and then pulling the 2 cords through the loop here. And you want to make sure your cords stay together so that you don't have any weird cords sticking out. And if you do, just pull them tightly. Okay, now that is a knot that I feel safe with. So I've just done 3 knots over my initial knot, and that gives this much more strength. And then I'm going to just cut it off here. I like to leave a little tail, a little flare, if you will. Now on here, what I did is I took 3 flowers and 3 jump rings, and I'm just going to do a wrapped loop. So I have my head pin on my jump ring, my flower on my head pin, and I'm going to make a loop. And I'm going to grab onto my loop with my chain nose pliers and wrap around 2 times tightly, and then 1 or 2 more times to give that messy wrap look that I love so dearly. And I'm going to cut off the extra. Should really cut with your wire going down so that you don't blind someone. Okay, now I have that little edge sticking out, so I'm just pinching it with my pliers so that I don't have that edge. And it helps if I do this on screen, which doesn't help me because it's not close enough to my face. Okay, and the reason you tuck that in, you don't want it to snag on your clothing or hurt while you're wearing it. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to close this up. I can hear my family laughing in the other room. It's so nice. Okay, I'm going to make this wrapped loop tightly 2 times, and then once or twice loosely on top to give me that messy wrapped look. Okay. And fighting at this again. Some days the wire's just like that, huh? These head pins are really, the metal's really tough, so they're a little harder to get tucked in there. But I will prevail. I'm going to do it off the camera by my face. So, just 1 second. Okay, whew, that was tough. So I have my 3 flowers, and now I'm going to carefully open this up, and I'm going to actually slide my flowers on here. I'm going to do 2 on the left side, or the right side. Make sure your little loops are going to the back, and then I'm going to do 1 on the inside. And to do that, you're going to stick this on the big hook part and pull it down, and then they'll all line up in a pretty little row there. And then you want to make sure you close this really well. All right. Now my last little thing is attaching my butterfly charm, or any kind of little charm that you have. A little bird, a little butterfly, a little nest. It's a great way to use up extra stuff. Okay, so if you're just jumping in, I am using 2-ply waxed linen. Make sure it's 2-ply. And these little tiny seed beads are called Super Duos. And they're glass beads. And then we have 12mm hibiscus flowers and one of my Humblebeads discs. The little flowers that I added on for the dangles are the 5x8mm flowers. I'm going to close this up. So this is a little tiny 4mm jump ring. And I have that closed. So I put the little 4mm jump ring, and then I'm going to open up my big jump ring and slide it on. And then just close that up. And that is my finished design. Now, if you're a little worried about this falling off, you can tighten that up a little bit, and then it won't slide off as easily. Okay, so that's it. This is a great way to use up extra pieces that you have lying around, or if you buy several strands, you can make several strands of the bracelets. So someone asked, and I forgot who it was, but they asked, how do you choose what color you're going to use? So there's no right or wrong way. What I wanted to do is I chose a color that was going to be another design element for this one. So I've used the cord as a separate color that was going to pop. So I wanted to use these pinky, peachy colored beads, and I knew I was going to use my focal bead was going to be peach, and so that's why I picked the peach color. And I followed the same reasoning for this one, where I had the little jade color or sage color. Well, I call this mint on my bead, but the cord is called sage. So the sage cord with the mint bead, and so I wanted those to match. And then you can see the cord pops as a separate color. So someone asked, how do I have the last little bead on the hook? I closed the hook up. So I put it all the way down. I had this bottom hook open, and then I put the little dangle on the bottom of the hook and closed the hook up. So you can see that it's not going to go anywhere. They're all 3 on the bottom, so they're not moving anywhere. Oh, I guess that one could move. No, it can't. There we go. So they're all closed in from the loop there. Oh, okay, so back to color. If you want your color to not be part of the design, I would go with a darker color, and then your knots will just kind of fade into your design and not pop. You could also, if you're using a color palette where you've picked out like a color palette from Pinterest, you could use your cord as one of the colors on the color palette instead of having it match the beads exactly. So there's no right or wrong way to pick the cord for your color. If you want it to pop and be part of the design, pick a color that goes with the beads that you're matching in some way. And you can see I have little tiny bits of that green color throughout my design, but I really used it as its own little design element. Kelly, you can watch this video anytime you want. You just come to the Humblebeads Facebook page and go under the videos, and you can watch all of my Bead Table Wednesday videos. So super easy, super fun. I put this whole thing together in less than 20 minutes. Okay, Norma Jean asks, Norma, how it's going to go is the clasp is going to be worn towards the back because it's heavy. So the clasp is always going to slide down to the back of your bracelet. And I've done that on purpose so that it would be on the bottom of my design. And so I made the heavier components on the bottom of the bracelet. great question. Susan, for the 2-ply, sorry, right now we have 6 colors on the website, and I'm getting ready to add the peach one in just a few minutes. And someone asked if we have kits, and we are pulling together some kits, but we're not going to have them until Saturday, just because we're so super busy finishing orders from this weekend. So kits will be on Saturday, and I'll post a little reminder when they're up. I will today put the what do I want to say, the supply list for today's project. I'll put that on my blog today, and then you guys can see what's the ingredients were for today's project. I'm kind of like trying to read the little comments here. Okay. All right, guys. Any birds, Nancy? Not yet. We've been really super busy with the hearts right now, and so I'll have some birds probably in a week is when I'll be making another little batch of spring birds. This is a great bead soup project. Jessica, I am not 100% sure how the silk cord would compare to this. I haven't used it in a million years, but I did used to knot with it, so I just don't know the width that it is, and if you would have to I just don't know if you could use it interchangeably or not. So I can't answer that, but I'm always of the example that you can just try it and see what happens. Some of these in the project today, Linda, they're all the 2-hole seed beads, and then I used a few little 2.5 millimeter copper spacers. Thank you, Gabriella, about my scarf. It's actually from Candy Cooper at one of the shows we did with her, and so Candy always has really cool stuff in her shop. All right, Lynn, thank you about my bead room. It's coming together. I got my little Humblebeads sign up there, which is like such a ridiculous purchase that I made this year because nobody sees it except for me and you guys on this video, but I just felt like I needed something official above that wall of beads. All right. And this is all my inventory. This is all stuff you guys get to buy, and I play with it sometimes, but mostly it's my inventory that goes out to my wonderful customers. Now, I did want to share with you guys the kits from last week, the earring project. I do have some of those kits still on the website. So if you're looking for another little fun project to add to your current to-do list, you can pick up a few. I have those kits in this black, and then I'm wearing the brown color. It's kind of hidden, but yeah, I did like a neutral brown one. All right, guys, yes, you can rewatch this video anytime. Look on the videos under the Humblebeads page, and you'll see all of my past Bead Table Wednesday videos, because it is my goal for 2021 to come every Wednesday and share with you guys a video, whether it's a short one or a long one. And so I hope to see you guys here next week. And actually, Norma Jean, you would be really sad to see how few beads of my own that I have. As soon as I make things, they're gone. I think my mom and aunt, my friend Erin, have more of my Humblebeads than I do, because I don't save one of every one, because you guys are just so hungry for them. So thank you. Probably, Norma, you have more of my Humblebeads than I do. You should show us your Humblebeads stash. That would be fun. Alright, guys, you have a great week. We're going to get back to work here and get all those orders out. And I just appreciate having you guys join me every week. And look forward to seeing you on next Wednesday. And look for the link this weekend on Saturday for the kits. We'll have the 2 different colors that I did here today, along with new beads. All right, thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good week. Bye.